Alright, welcome back everyone. In this video I want to present yet another troll level that I made for Geek. As I already mentioned, unfortunately the last level which I submitted for her troll level contest did not make it into the contest. However, I just wanted to give it another shot to submit another level, not for a contest this time, but just in general in her Discord. So that's what this level will be, and I will put the level code in the description down below. So if you want to play the level before I now spoil all the trolls, then you can go ahead and grab the code from the description. So as 2023 is the year of the guts, I also included some actual softlocks and off-screen thwomps into this level. And now let's just get right into it. The first area looks quite straightforward, so it looks like all you have to do is to get this mushroom, and that's already the first troll. So it reveals a hidden block in this spot, and technically at first glance this doesn't stop you, so you can still get the mushroom. However, then of course there is no way to break this block anymore because you cannot spin jump there. And you could already call this the first soft lock, as you have to restart to get out of this place. However, I will not count soft locks before CP1 because I mean you have to restart the level from the beginning anyway, so yeah, I will not count that one as an official soft lock. Also, if you want, you can get the one up after you broke this block. And the next part looks once again quite straightforward. You just jump onto the platform and yeah, then you get trolled again. So also, if you look here at the beginning, you see this, which might look like some text or it might look like some eyes that are watching you. Doesn't really tell you anything yet, but if you go here, it turns into oof. And basically the way this troll works is there's just a block hidden behind this track, and if the platform is on the track, then basically that thing, I don't really know what it is, but the one that connects the platform with the track perfectly hides the block behind the platform. This is actually something that I used several times in different variations throughout this level, and the way to progress here is then of course to jump to the side of the platform and not stand on top of that block. So then here we have the classical block behind the block that you actually need to hit a troll, and that block contains a spike top. So if you let him throw a spike ball in this direction, it doesn't do anything, but if you go here, then it looks like you need something to jump off of to go up here. So you jump off the spike ball and it takes you yet into another troll area, because this is not the right way. The right way to go is then actually, also you cannot spin jump, the right way to go is then actually through this block, because once the spike ball hits that block, it will basically start spinning and you can go through it. And here it looks now like you would have to get hit and lose the mushroom. And at this point, I expect some players to just believe me when I tell them you don't need the mushroom without actually checking for hidden blocks here, and they will just restart. So the next time they come here, they will get hit by the spike ball before they go through this area. And so now they are small, and basically right after that it tells them, haha, you actually do need the mushroom and there is a hidden block in that area down here. So of course, if you know about that hidden block, then you come here and you actually activate the block and you can escape with the mushroom. And this part right here is now once again one of these trolls where you think that tracks should actually do something different than what they are doing. So from what this part looks like, you go onto the skull platform and somehow it will go under the source. So in order to keep your mushroom, you should just go onto the platform and then duck. However, yeah, as I said, this is one of these setups where what tracks actually do just doesn't make sense. So you activate the platform, it goes into this direction, but then suddenly, for whatever reason, it turns around and goes back. And yeah, so what you actually have to do is then take a hit and go through the source. And if you do that, then you will end up in the area with the first checkpoint. And this will then also reveal that this is actually a red coin level. So you have the safety coin here plus 4 more coins. And also, just for good measure, there's an invisible block here if you jump. So you actually need to jump from further back. And now you're in this checkpoint area, and most people will just start with the sections from left to right. So they will go into this door first, which immediately takes them to a soft look because this is not a real section. And basically, so this is the first actual soft look because it's technically behind a checkpoint. However, you still don't lose too much progress as it is just behind a checkpoint. And there will be some worse soft locks later, so yeah, as I said, it's the year of the guts. So now you go into the first real section, and here it says non-sus, so probably this, this is the non-suspicious setup, and it's exactly set up to look like the most obvious and worst non-suspicious setup of all time. Like, in what world is that fish actually gonna hide that pipe? So most people will probably think maybe that pipe is the solution then and try to go in it, but you cannot actually go into this pipe. However, still they will just wonder what this is actually all about. So if you continue, here it now tells you, haha, didn't you see, like you missed something? And if you go down here, then it tells you what you actually missed, the fish, because, yeah, basically it wasn't trying to hide anything, it was just trying to distract you from the fact that you could get hit by the fish. So this is something that you actually have to do in order to progress. So here you get the mushroom, you needed to break this block, but then you need to get hit by the fish intentionally so that you can later make it through here. And now we have everyone's favorite item, a snake block. And if you just go onto the snake block, it looks like it goes up here. However, yeah, that's not where it actually goes, so you cannot progress from here. And actually, it reveals that there's a skull platform hidden behind the snake block. So you actually have to go onto this block and then jump down up here. And now this is one of the so soft looks kind of in the middle of the level. So there is once again a block that is hidden behind this platform on a track itself. The block just contains a fish, so that's not the main troll, that's just if the player tries to jump, not like this, but basically if the player tries to jump to the platform like that. However, actually, if they try to jump all the way from here, then they will just get stuck because, yeah, Mario Maker physics, if the launcher is set up like that, so that the space between that block and the launcher is not exactly one block like here, but like a little bit less, then it just completely locks you in if you try to jump there. And yeah, this is then the actual soft lock, and this is now also supported by all of the fish that are coming from the red pipes. So they all go towards you, but none of them will actually kill you, so they will just continuously bounce into you from below. And yeah, that's then a real soft lock. And if you go into this side of the platform, then you can continue. So now you end up in this area. And to be honest, I just designed this area because I still had lots of space left in the level and I didn't really know what to do with it. So yeah, I try to make this look like one of these classical haha, find the difference. So, I mean, of course, that's really obvious. We have two spike balls, we have one fireball, so the fireball is the different one. However, actually, it's just telling you what's in the hidden block that you will hit when you jump into that area. So that's actually the only one that's wrong, and the other two are spike balls, which are correct. So then you go here to the second area, and here it looks like we have bombs and a spiny helmet. And I mean, technically a spiny helmet does not sound too bad, because you can break invisible blocks with a spiny helmet. However, if you think carefully, if you hit the invisible block from below and the spiny helmet will just be on top of it, then it doesn't really help. So of course it has to be the bomb, because the bomb will just explode after some time and it will then destroy the block. However, I mean, just like in the first riddle, this is exactly telling you what items you will get. And I mean, this bomb is not lit, so if you jump here, yeah, I mean, that bomb is also not lit and nothing will happen. However, it's not a soft block, because if you jump here, there are some claws at the top, so if you jump in one of the bomb areas, it will just release this liquid, which will then eventually kill you. However, also that one in the middle is not what it really looks like. So if you just jump here, it reveals another flame and a spiny helmet falls down, which is coming from this claw. So technically, yes, you do get a spiny helmet in the middle path, however, not from the block, but if you just jump here without hitting the block, then it will fall onto your head, and now you can destroy this area and yeah, escape. Behind this saw, you also get the red coin of this room. I just didn't really know where to put that, so I just put it here. And then we have this final area, which also looks like some sort of riddle that you have to figure out with Pat. It's the right one. But actually this is all just a distraction to make you think long enough so that this muncher can fall down and block the pipe. So yeah, if you stay here and think for too long, then at some point you just cannot enter the pipe anymore. And once you enter that pipe, this actually takes you to the other checkpoint area. So here you have the two doors. You cannot go into any of the pipes. But yeah, if you go into this door, then you land in the next section. And here we have yet another variation of the hidden block behind platform on a track troll. This time it's actually a node block. So if you jump in the middle of the platform, basically that happens, so it will activate the platform, but it will also bounce you up for a split second, so the platform will already be gone when you then fall down. And of course, in order to avoid that, all you have to do is not jump into the middle of the platform, but to the side of it. And so now there's this block, which might be helpful, but might not be, so I don't know, maybe some people will hit it, maybe some people will just first go here. And eventually, I mean, they will figure out that there's a fish that falls down if they just jump here, but that's actually for a later troll. However, what I will figure out is that they cannot do anything here, so maybe something in that block is actually helpful. But when you go back, there's these hidden blocks here. However, these hidden blocks are actually not only there to get you if you go here and then try to go back, but also if you first hit this block and just watch what happens, then there's a spike ball and that will hit the block that reveals the vine, so you need that to continue. However, at the same time, if you just watch the spike ball go, then it will also block you off here. And so then of course what you have to do is to activate the spike block and then go through here before the spike block blocks of this area. And yeah, now if you just climb up that vine and stay on that side for too long, this is where the fish is actually supposed to get you. And yeah, here you can get into this claw where the fish was originally in, but it doesn't really help you. So yeah, I just left it there, doesn't really matter. And now with the help of the red Yoshi, you can go through here and collect this red coin. And basically all of that stuff here is just to distract you, because I mean, basically it's not trying to really distract you from something that's actually happening, but it's just trying to bring your focus away from thinking closer about this area. Because first of all, it looks like you can only go here with Yoshi because of the spikes. However, actually you can also go here just with Mario. On the other hand, it also doesn't really look that dangerous, like something bad could happen here. However, actually if you go into this area with Yoshi, then you're technically soft locked, because once again Mario Maker is a weird game and there is no way to get out of this area anymore. So you cannot jump off Yoshi because you will always just jump right back onto him. And yeah, with Yoshi your hitbox is too big, so you cannot get out at the top, you cannot get out at the bottom, so technically this is a softie. With a very precise jump I actually managed to get out of this area once. However, I don't really know how I did that, so I was not able to reproduce that consistently. So even though it's not a 100% real soft lock, I'll still count it as one because it's extremely hard to escape. And so of course what you have to do is not be on Yoshi while hitting this switch, then you can just go back out again. And now you're in this area, which looks like that you can also get to this area from the other side somehow. So you go in here, and here it just tells you, yeah, you should have immediately held up when coming out of that door, because there was a vine. And now you're in this horrible clown car anti-soft lock. So actually this is not a real soft lock, but it's extremely difficult, at least for me, to get out of this, because I mean you have to jump onto these clown cars which constantly bounce each other around. And yeah, you have to jump on them and somehow stay on top of them so that they can actually carry you to the spikes up here. And basically that anti is just there to really make you remember to hold up after being in this area. And as I said before, it looks like you can get to this area from two sides. However, as you can see here, this is basically just part of a section to make it look like another section. And this is then later used for another troll. Also, if you're in this area and you are holding up and then you just release up and jump here, then it will just put you into the ante again. I mean, yeah, but basically this entire area is just made to make you remember to hold up if you ever go through this door again. So now you go in this area, which is the second area in the other checkpoint room, and here this looks like one of these weird haha follow the coin trail or whatever. Also you have the banzai mill, which is usually also used to hide something from the player. However, in that case this is all just a distraction. So if you go here, I'll just tell you, haha, all you had to do all along was to just go into that pipe. So that entire area is just a distraction, and actually what you have to do is to just go in here. And then that mushroom is yet another distraction, so while you collect the mushroom, a bunch of fire flowers falls down, and yeah, you can go through here, but you cannot melt these blocks anymore. So as I said, yet another distraction, and what you actually have to do is to just jump for it, and you will definitely grab one of the fire flowers. Now you can go through here, and this is now the area where there's an off-screen swamp, and yeah, this switch is not in the actual level, so I just put it there previously to demonstrate what happens now. So basically in this area you will always have the switch in the off state, because otherwise you cannot get up here. And yeah, then you have this off-screen swamp here as one troll, and now this part, so what you can see from here, looks like what you saw from the other side of the other area. And also this part right here looks like the other area on the left side. So you think that basically, and that's also why I put that switch here, because the switch state is important for that troll. You think that you're in the area where if you go through that door and you don't hold up, you will end up in the anti-softlock again. So you go through the door, you hold up, and it just directly drops you back into that softlock area from the other checkpoint. And basically that's why this launcher is here. That launcher is just there to hide door, which is above the other door here. And only when the switch state is different, this launcher won't spawn, so you can directly fall onto this door. And yeah, basically if you're holding up, you will just immediately enter that one and end up in the actual softlock again. And yeah, basically that's the entire point behind this troll. So this area is just a fake to make it look like the other area. Same as in the other area, where this section is just also copied to make it look like this area. And all you have to do then in order to avoid getting trolled is of course to not hold up. So this won't work because the switch state is wrong, but if the switch state is in the right state, then if you just don't hold up, then I mean you're suddenly into this area, so you can collect a checkpoint and continue with the other area that is left in here, which is this one. And here it looks like first you have a choice between a fire flower and a feather. However, both of them are wrong, and to be honest, I'm not even sure if people will actually fall for the troll. Because, I mean, what this is trying to make you think is, if I walk onto that bridge, I will be somewhere at this height, so I clearly need a power-up to go through the icicle. However, that top part of the bridge is actually only the background, so if I actually stand here, you can see I'm like almost standing halfway inside of the bridge, so that icicle is not a threat at all. However, yeah, as that gap here looks quite small, people might think they need a power-up in order to get through here. However, no matter which of these power-ups they choose, they're both wrong, and eventually then that Mecha Koopa here will kill you. So then, once you're here, if you go up there, there's just another off-screen thwomp if you don't move out of the way immediately. And on top of that, if you move and then try to see where that thwomp is going, there's another thwomp on top of the thwomp. Also, if you go on top of both thwomps, there's like not a third thwomp. Still, it just tells you that's not the right way. So yeah, now you're in this area, and it looks like, yeah, probably something is in that block. However, the troll is to just hit that block, because first you have to wait a certain amount of time until that Yoshi egg falls down. So then you have to hit the block and use the sideways spring to bounce away the muncher. And now if you go here, then you cannot continue because this area is blocked off by some breakable blocks. And At the same time, on the right side, you can see a hint that tells you basically in that area where they're basically here at this part, there's a hidden block, which of course you cannot hit anymore now. But the next time when you come here, you know about the existence of that block, so you first do the first steps just like before, but then you go down here and you hit this block. Then you have to lose Yoshi because you need to get back out of that pit again. And now you're here. So now it looks like all you have to do, as you cannot go up here and do anything, is to go up this side, and then now it actually tells you that this is another layer on that troll, because this hint, which is actually a hint for this area, is itself also a troll where this area is the hint for. So this is trying to tell you that there's an invisible block here, but then this is trying to tell you there's also an invisible block here, which contains a mushroom, and you need that mushroom in order to go through the piranha plants here. And now, normally, as I was now going over these in one row, technically when playing the level, you would finish with one of these sections and then actually end up in the other checkpoint area, so the one in this area. So now you would have all 4 coins, so all you still need is the safety coin, and then you can go into that key door. And then that's actually already the end of the level. However, there's one final troll, which is this spring that you can see here. And the thing is, if you already come into this area before with the haha you didn't see the fish troll, then technically if you start here, it should show the spring for a split second, so you might know about it. However, as you first come across this area and then go back and then go here, actually the spring is already spawned and then goes onto this track. So if you come from this troll and you look closer at the ending area, it just looks completely harmless. Looks like all you have to do to win is to just go into the pipe and then fall into the goal. However, if you just don't move at all, then the spring will bounce you into this area, which is like the one final real soft lock of this level, right at the end. And in order to avoid this, you have to move to the left, so then you will get bounced only once, which is not enough to get you all the way up into this area. And yeah, that's the level. So please tell me any playtesting feedback or whatever other feedback you might have onto this level, either in the YouTube comments of this video or in the Discord. I'm not sure how often I will be able to check that, but I will definitely check that and also will try to improve if you find something. So that's it for this video, and then until next time.